And we're back to learning Photoshop, day 7. Let me show you how you can create rectangles. We've already done that in the previous video tutorials, but I haven't yet talked about the details of this tool. You will find it right here. If you see another one, for example, ellipse, triangle, polygon, just right click on it and then this toolbox opens up and you will find the rectangle tool. U is the shortkey for it, but U is the general shortkey, so when the ellipse tool is active and you press U, you will get that instead of the rectangle tool. Just in case you don't see your tools at all, go to Window, and right at the bottom there is a Tools option. It should be checked. If it isn't, click on it. And if your layout looks different, go to Window, Workspace, use the Essentials default, and then you should find the rectangle tool right here. Once it's active, our menu here on the top, it has changed. Lots of the available options up here are the same as the one that you can find in the Properties menu, but some are also different. First drop down here is for the tool itself. If you're a tool beginner, just leave that aside. The default should be a regular rectangle when this tool is active. But the next drop down is important. We have 3 forms or 3 types of rectangles: shapes, paths, and pixels. I'm going to talk more about paths and pixels in future videos. The shape is usually what you want when you want to create a rectangle. So make sure that shape is checked and selected in the menu. And you can also see if you choose different options, the menu will give you more or less features. So I've got my shape selected and now left click drag on the canvas, and this allows me to create my rectangle. It has 2 colors, a fill and a stroke. You'll find that under properties as well. If you left click on the swatch, you can change the color. We just use one of the defaults here. Maybe something bluish. Same goes for the stroke. I make that black. Stroke is pretty thick. I can make that smaller or bigger right here. You can use the slider or just left click here, Ctrl A to select it all and then change it maybe to 5. Drop down next to it is for the stroke style. Make that bigger again. And there are more options. I'm going to talk about that in a future video as well. For now, just be aware that you can make it a solid, a dashed or a dotted line right here. Then we have width and height adjustments and a link icon in between. So this for the size and pixels. When the link icon is active, you adjust one value and the other one will be adjusted accordingly, so it keeps its aspect ratio. When you uncheck it, you can adjust width and height without the other one being affected. These are the most important features, but there's one more that I want to talk about, and it can be found right next to it. Let me create a new rectangle. I'll left click drag, and you can see it gets created onto a new layer. So we have rectangle 1, rectangle 2 layer, and this is because new layer is selected right here. You have other options, so for example, combine shapes. And if this is active, I'm on rectangle 2, and I drag my rectangle. This gets now added to the rectangle that's already there on the layer. I'll switch to rectangle 1 and I add more. We can also use subtract in the same manner. So whatever layer is active can then be affected. So that's an important drop down to know. By default, you should have new layer active so that every shape is created on a new layer for itself. Next up, important is right here, the roundness of the corners. I like to use the properties menu for that. If you don't see it, go to Window, Properties, and here you can adjust it. Link icon is active, therefore all corners are adjusted. I uncheck the link icon, and then I can adjust only one corner, like so. The next option right here is for paths, and we have a hierarchy option, but when you're a total beginner and you want to know how to create rectangles, these are the basics that you should know. Good idea to try it out yourself, create some rectangles, and then we'll continue learning Photoshop in the next video tomorrow. I hope this one was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.